everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make your own contact cement holder. Hey everybody, my name is Myers, Corp Cosplay. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own contact cement holder. Now, if you've ever used contact cement for your foam cosplays, you know you can get the containers that have the little brush in it. However, at least in my neck of the woods in Ontario, they're getting harder and harder to find, and I'm pretty sure they're going to stop making them. So what I decided was to make my own contact cement holder so you don't have to care about their brushes. Another reason why I did this specifically was because the Royal LePage brand that we have here in Ontario, the brush comes just up to it's kind of embedded into the rim. Well, the past couple that I've had, I've used so much that it's actually started to break and it's made a hole in the lid so it dries out before I'm even finished using it. So this is my own that I DIY'd. I'm going to show you all the steps how to make it. The brush is all the way through, so there's no chance of it breaking, and you can make your own at home. So let's jump into how to make it.
So this is that Royal LePage can that I talked about earlier. As you can see, it has a little nozzle on the top that you have a brush underneath, and that is where the brush attaches. It has slowly been breaking. Air is now seeping into it, and it is slowly drying out. And like I said, these are not being made anymore, so we're going to make our own. First, you need a small mason jar. It's about $1.75 at Dollarama. Then you're going to need some brushes. Get one that's really long and has a good amount of bristles so you can evenly coat on your contact cement. Petroleum jelly, it's a nice thing to have at the end. I don't videotape it, but you want to rub that on the rim of the jar and underneath the lid so it doesn't bond to itself. And your 5-minute epoxy is what's going to seal your brush. And last but not least, your handy dandy drill with a good sized drill bit. Then you're going to, step one, take the lid off, and you're going to mark the center of the lid. This is where your brush is going to go through. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but close enough to the center. Then you're going to get your drill bit, and you're going to drill through the hole. Start small on this one, and you're going to have to see, depending on the brush, how big you need that hole to be, how deep you want that brush to be. You don't want it to be too shallow. You don't want it to be too deep, because you want that brush to be able to hit the bottom of the jar and make sure to get all of that contact cement. This one, and this is where I said I might mess up the videotape, this is a little too deep. I end up pulling it brush out just a little bit more just so it's just touching the bottom. So now we're just going to be cutting the ends off of our 5-minute epoxy. This stuff, I don't mind the smell of contact cement that much. I've kind of got used to it. 5-minute epoxy, I absolutely hate the smell of this stuff. It is one of the grossest, most toxic smelling things. It is a 2 chemical bond, so you're going to evenly distribute that on a piece of cardstock. A pretty good amount. I don't think you need a ton of it, but a pretty good amount. And once it is evenly distributed on there, you're going to put the lid back on so it does not dry itself out. You're then going to grab yourself a popsicle stick or something that you are okay throwing out, because once this stuff gets on something, it is garbage. You're going to mix that up thoroughly. If you don't mix it up thoroughly, it just kind of stays goopy and doesn't really dry that well. So if you mix it up, you know you're going to have a nice good bond and a nice good hardening factor at the end. Then you're just going to put this stuff all around the edge of the brush and the lid, filling in any gaps that were left so the air does not get into it. I suggest doing 2 coats of this. You can do a coat of this on the underside as well, but I think 1 coat or 2 coats on the top is enough to make sure that everything is sealed up nice and firm. And then that's it. That's kind of it. You gotta wait for it to dry. I chopped off this brush so I didn't have so much overhang, and I did add some some foam clay on top just to make it look a little nicer. You don't have to do that. I just did it for aesthetics wise. I didn't like having all that goopy glue all over it. But that's it. That's how you're gonna make it. Real easy.
So that's it, folks. That's how you make your own contact cement holder for your foam cosplay. Like I said, I tried to videotape everything as best I could. I'm terrible at this. Listen to the audio if I missed anything. But yeah, make your own, and hopefully it will serve you well when you're using it for your foam cosplay. If you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments. I'm always looking at my comments. And like and subscribe, because we got more tutorials like this and other cosplay things coming up. Take care, and I can't wait to see what you are going to cosplay next.